Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Storytime Spotlight. For this episode, we have a Storytime repeat releaser, the one, the only, Collelo. Now, Collelo, how we doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yes. We've been wanting to get this episode filmed and ready, and so I had some questions I wanted to ask you. First things first, where are you based out of?
I currently live in Maui, Hawaii. I love it here. I've been here for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Used to live on Oahu. I moved there in 2012. Lived there for about 6 years. Then I moved out to Maui just to kind of get away from the city life and to focus on music more, really, and producing.
And producing, yeah. And so what exactly made you get into producing and DJing itself?
So I started DJing first. I started DJing when I was like 19, freshly moved to Hawaii. I started going to a bunch of raves. And it was just so much fun. And some of my friends were DJs, and we just kind of started DJing together, and they taught me the ways, and just kind of fell in love with it. And yeah, just basically the rest is history from there.
Yeah, it's definitely easier when you have somebody who knows what they're doing, especially like when you're setting up stuff, because I don't know exactly what program you started DJing on. I started on virtual DJ. And to be honest, I still use virtual. I mean, I know a lot of people use Serato, but to me it's more user friendly. But having someone to explain to you like what to download exactly or how to set cue points, stuff like that, it's super beneficial. So when you have other people that are around you that DJ, it definitely helps you and helps your progress over time as well.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it definitely helped me get better quick, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what about producing wise? What are you producing in, and what made you get into production?
So I use Ableton. Mm-hmm. That's really the only DAW I've ever really used. Just years of DJing. I really wanted to make it a career. I was going to school for something I didn't want to do, and just was kind of like unhappy with the direction of my life. And I always loved DJing, and I loved, just the whole dance music scene. And basically, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to learn how to produce, because really the only way you're going to make it in that world is to have your own sound and have your own music, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I just took it upon myself to just learn, and I asked a bunch of peers and everything. I'm still learning now, but I just kind of dove deep and devoted basically all my free time to learning how to produce.
Yeah, and I definitely enjoy your music. I remember you sent me over a sneak peek of your EP that you just put out. And I remember listening to it, and I remember you have a great ear for music. And not only that, I love your intros. The intros are always so full and so just different. They feel like it's like a full song. You hear a lot of music that comes out, and it's not really full production, or you feel like there's missing stuff, and I feel like you definitely are hitting everything with like, I can't even like, even when you send me stuff like you sent me something not so long ago asking me, hey, what's some feedback on this, and I was like, I honestly don't have that much to say about it. I feel like you're getting it all down. Now I want to say I was super excited that after we had after you sent me over your little sneak peek of your EP, I remember saying, maybe we should start something, and then you sent me something over, I think if it wasn't that day, the next day for us to work on. And then after some time, we went back and forth, sending stems, and now finally, we have the collab. Yeah, we have the collab coming out on Storytime. It's titled Every Dance. It's dropping on the second chapter of the book club compilation, and that drops on October 30th. Yes. And I remember when we were going through it, I remember we had a few hiccups. We were trying to figure out some stuff, but it's always I feel like that's how it is when you're sending stems. But then I think it was our last mix session. We were on Zoom, and you told me about that trick that you can have remote. What's the wording?
Like access, or you can edit on Ableton through Zoom.
Yes, yeah, and
on both sides.
And that right there was just a game changer. And of course, we found that out at the very last part. But I mean, future collabs are going to be working on regardless. So we know that for the future. So we're definitely going to use that for a future reference. So that is great thing that we're going to have to utilize. Now, since everything has kind of slowed down recently, what have you been doing during the pandemic?
Well, I've been producing a lot more, which I really love. because of quarantine, that's when I made my EP. You know, House Your Body EP. It came out. I made it during quarantine, and now it's out. So like, that's a super great positive thing that I look at.
House Your Body.
You know? House Your. I can't wait to play it out at a real show, though. You know, but yeah, I've been producing a lot. I go to the gym more. I like to go to the gym every day before I do sessions in the studio, just to kind of get like any stress out, you know, and to just kind of get ready to, you know, relax and just be like in good vibe to make music, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good for
That's really it.
It's good for the mental health too. I've definitely been doing the same thing, just like you, working out and everything along those lines, because at the end of the day, we don't want to become couch potatoes, and definitely production is a nice little, well, at least for me, it's a nice little getaway. I almost feel like when I'm doing these sessions on songs, it's like I'm like going to another place in that time, and I kind of like forget where I'm in reality for a little bit because I'm so focused on the project or whatever it is that I'm working on. Now,
like a time machine.
Yes, absolutely.
Time just zoop.
Yes. Now, from our talks, you have opened up for some pretty big names out there. What would you say is one of your most memorable experiences DJing, or what would you say is your most favorite show that you've played to date?
Well, I mean, there's a couple, but I feel like the one that really kind of made me the most nervous before, and then like the most excited too, was when I opened up for Duke Dumont and for Marshmello. It was at a festival, so it was likely my first real festival gig, and there's thousands of people, a huge stage, and I at the time was just used to doing like small club gigs and, you know, maybe like 500 people or so, and those are so fun too because it's so personable. But the one with Marshmello and Duke Dumont was just crazy because I just had never felt the energy of so many people, and for them to just react to the drops and to just kind of be there with you in the vibe was just so amazing. And I hope that I can do that again, and I want to do that for my job. Like, I just want to like tour and play at EDC and just keep doing that.
Yeah, that is definitely a huge goal that most people just look to achieve. Just to even share the stage with names like that, that's such a big accomplishment. And not only that, from going to, like you were saying, playing smaller shows to playing this festival stage, it's a pretty big difference. And that right there by itself, oh, absolutely. I can only imagine.
Scary.
I can only imagine your nerves and how everything's going.
Nervous.
Yeah, I could totally
literally
imagine.
Shit my pants.
Trust. I can totally imagine. You're like, exit stage left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Now, what would you say to anyone who's starting out, either in DJing or production? What is some advice that you could give to some people?
I would say just make what you like. Devote a lot of time to it, even if you feel like you don't want to do it, or if you feel like you don't know what you're doing. Just basically force yourself to be at your computer and be at your DAW and to learn. Go on YouTube, or so many resources to learn from nowadays. So you just really got to devote the time and practice, because practice makes perfect. That's all I can really say. I mean, that's what I did. So
yeah, practice definitely does make perfect. And I will say this. It's not all roses when it comes to this industry and production and shows. I'm pretty sure that you maybe have had a show where it's just gone to shit, where you thought it was going to be something great and spectacular, and then equipment fails on you, or like you didn't back up a project, you lost all the project files, and you're just like losing your mind over these little things. Because a lot of the times I've noticed that I can get frustrated, and I sometimes lose sight of the bigger picture of why we do this in the first place. And that's because we want to have fun. Like, at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, and we do take it serious. And it takes to the point where once you take it too serious and you start losing why you got into this in the first place, then I feel like that's when you start to kind of like decline on progress necessarily. So that, to me, I can say it is a stressful time. I can't tell you how many times I have had a big show coming up and something happens, and then I get off the booking for it, or I show up to a show, the equipment's shot to shit, and then I'm having to figure out how to use something. Like, so definitely for everyone out there who's listening, as you could hear from both of us. This is not something that it's just going to happen overnight. You're going to have to put in the progress. Yeah. You're going to have to be willing to, invest not only time, but invest money into yourself, because at the end of the day, you're investing into yourself, into your own brand, into the artist or producer that you are trying to be. Now. And
also, can I just add one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think that it's super important, because this is something that I really struggle with too from time to time, is just having confidence in your music. Like when you're first starting out, like, of course, your music's probably going to suck because you don't know how to produce, right?
Absolutely.
But once you get to a point where you're really comfortable and you understand what you're doing, and you've made hundreds of tracks already, you kind of know what you're doing at that point, it's like, just have confidence with what you like. Like, don't try to sound like somebody else. Just make what you like, and if you like it, then nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters.
Music is subjective. Not everyone's gonna like what you like. There's always gonna be people saying this sucks or this and that, or haters or whatever. Just make what you vibe to, and there's gonna be other people that vibe to that too. So
absolutely,
that's super important too.
Absolutely. And sorry, my dog's barking. Come here.
Oh, can I meet your dog?
Yes.
Oh.
Let me show you. This is Daisy.
Oh,
this is Daisy. Say
Daisy?
Say hi, Daisy. Say hi. It's
my little corgi. Goodness. Hello, you are so cute.
She has separation anxiety.
So cute. I wish I could have a dog, but we can't have dogs in our apartment, sadly. Yeah. Hawaii is strict about the animal pet thing.
Which is crazy, because I lived in a condo, and you had to pay pet insurance per month for your animal, and it was just like, it got to the point where it's like, all right, I'm just gonna say I have a dog. I mean, we had a dog and a cat, and I wasn't about to spend an extra. I could be wrong on the fee, but I think it was like $75 a month for the animal to be there. So I'm like, you're never gonna see my cat. You know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna see the cat. Yeah. You can see my dog. Like, it is what it is. Like, whatever.
I wish they had that here, at least. They don't even have that. Like, you really got to search to even find somewhere that accepts pets, like your own house or something.
Would you say you're more of a dog or a cat person?
Well, I feel like it depends on, like, the dog or the cat, because, like, I like dogs, but there's some dogs that are, like, really mean and just...
Absolutely.
So I wish... See, the thing that I like about cats is you can go on vacation for like a week and you can leave them at home, right? And they'll be fine. But like with a dog, it's like so much more responsibility, but I just love their personality more, because they're more willing to like play with you and to like interact with you and stuff. And I wish there was such a thing as like a cat that was kind of like a dog.
Right.
So you could go somewhere.
And it's
I don't know. I like both. I can't really choose.
When I got Daisy was a puppy, right? And so in my mind, when they explained what Daisy was going to be, I imagined that my dog was going to be way bigger and way taller. I told myself, if I'm going to get a dog, like, I want to get a real dog, like a dog that's like big, I can bring with me on hikes, and people will be not afraid of, but a big dog. That's what I wanted. And so yeah, that's the dog that I have. And so this is more of an emotional dog. Yeah, she's a medium. She's a little chunky, but I'll say it's more of an emotional support animal than anything. But yeah, it's definitely a plus. Now let's get into some random questions. If you were stranded on an island and you could take 3 things with you minus food and water, what would they be?
I feel like a lot of people would say like their phone and stuff, but I feel like I want to go like realistic, So I would say like some kind of knife or weapon to like hunt,
Right.
What else? I feel like I need toilet paper. Like, who wants to go to the bathroom? Go number 2. And you got nothing to wipe with. Toilet paper. What else? One more thing. Can I say my boyfriend Jess? Like,
yes,
I would
absolutely.
Hate to be on an island alone. That'd be nice to have company.
Absolutely, yeah. That alone should get you by far enough. Yeah. I mean, all you need is a knife, toilet paper, and your mans, and you are set and ready to go.
You need company, man. You're going to get lonely on there.
Yes. Trust me. I 100% agree. Now, other than that, what would you say you find yourself most distracted with?
Distracted with?
Throughout your day, let's say you're trying to accomplish something. What do you see in your
yeah.
day-to-day life that is a distraction?
I feel like social media is a huge distraction, and I just watched that show, Social Dilemma, so I feel like I'm kind of biased on it, but like I kind of knew though, before I watched it that it was that way with social media. I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing to promote and stuff, but sometimes, you just end up scrolling too long, and I don't know, like I feel like it's definitely a huge distraction and kind of like if you're at a party or something, or if you're out and about and like it kind of blocks you from being in like social and interactive too, because like I do that too sometimes, like if I'm out, if I'm doing something where there's a lot of people, like instead of like if I'm not really feeling it, instead of like going out to talk to people, I'll just like go on my phone because it's like my security in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like social media and your phone.
Do you have the app TikTok downloaded?
No, I don't actually.
Okay, if you don't,
I don't have
don't start.
Don't
Snapchat
start either.
Okay, perfect. Because when quarantine first started, I downloaded TikTok, and that I would say has taken the most amount of time out of my day is going through that and just endlessly scrolling. But what I've noticed for artists and people trying to, not only in music, but if you're trying to do anything, businesses, and you have to promote, it's like you have to be on social media. You have to push and be so, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be so
persistent.
Persistent. Thank you. You have to be so persistent with your posting because you're not going to show up in people's algorithms. And I feel like that's the biggest part that I've noticed with just my social branding itself. It's like I don't have constant content to post every day, and with that, it's like the more content you post, the better you are in other people's I wouldn't say stream, but whatever their feed, their feed. And so that comes down to, okay, what can I do? And that's when it comes down to, okay, now I have to be on social media. Now I have to go and check all these little things and go through that. So would you say your main source of social media is Instagram?
I would say Instagram, Facebook. Been using Twitch a lot lately, and not really posting myself, but like watching a lot of other producers on Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of like production streams, so I love like watching what they do and learning like little tricks that they do. But I feel like for me, I try my best to just use Instagram and Facebook and stuff as a way to promote my brand.
Absolutely.
And I really try my best. I'm not perfect, but I try my best just to use it for that, and then not to just use it to scroll when I'm bored,
Right.
Because I feel like there could be better, more productive things than just like scrolling through your phone,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm trying to cut down on just the scrolling.
Yes, yes. So what would you say you find inspiration from to make the music that you're currently making?
Like what inspires me to make the style of music?
Yeah,
or like
where do you pull your inspiration from? Like, let's say you have
like other DJs.
Not even. I mean, if that's how you want to take it, but let's say you have a blank canvas on Ableton. What is your inspiration? Like, is it just you're just feeling this type of vibe today, or do you go into a project with the mindset, okay, this is the beat that's been playing in my head. This is what I'm going to lay down right now.
Normally, I start a project and I don't really have an idea of what I want to do. I just kind of have, like, I know what kind of music I like because there's different artists I like. Like, I love night bass. I'm a huge fan of night bass. Chami's Confession. I love Dirty Bird. Like, I love basically anything house music, kind of more like dirty, grimy house. But I also like tech house too. I love all kinds of house music. But anyway, yeah, I just kind of start with my drums and just kind of find sounds that I like. And sometimes if I don't feel inspired, I'll just like go on my Spotify and listen to other people's music to just get some kind of inspiration and just kind of go from there.
One of the people who helped me with production, he was always telling me, when I'm starting off with a blank canvas or anything like that. And just for a project in general, he was like, if you mute everything but your drums, and if your drums don't make you move, then the track itself isn't going to make you move. And now I mentally always do that now, where I just mute it and I'm like, okay, let me just hear the backbeat. If the backbeat's not bumping, then it's not going to get the overall, unless of course you're going for a chiller vibe. But I'm trying to make some music that gets people on the dance floor. Same with you, especially with that House Your Body EP. It has. Yeah, I definitely noticed that starting on a blank page, definitely starting off with the drums has been very useful. I
always start with drums. Yeah. Like, there's never a project where I don't start with drums, or at least like a kick or something, you know.
Do you find yourself mainly producing in between 120 and 130?
Yeah, I would say my go-to is like 126.
126?
Yeah.
Yeah.
124 to 126 is like the range I like.
So what type of VSTs do you use when you're producing?
So my main ones, I love Diva. Diva's really good. I use Serum. I've been using a lot of Massive. I love Massive. What else do I use? I love this new one I found. I heard about it from Chris Lake on one of his Twitch production streams. It's called Black Box, and it's from Plugin Alliance, and it's kind of like a saturator. I love using that for like on my master or like on drums, just kind of give it more, I don't know, it just kind of gives it more frequencies. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a saturator.
It pops more.
That, yeah, and then what else do I use? I think those are like the main. I use Span a lot to check, just have like a visualization of what my frequencies look like.
Right, absolutely.
I use Ozone Elements.
Elements, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one that I just got. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name. I'd have to look, but it lets you A/B between tracks. So like if you're trying to get your mix down on point, you can throw in other tracks that you like that are in the same key, and you can kind of go back and forth A/B each track to see if your mix is kind of similar, like in the frequency range and stuff. So
that's super
I like
useful.
That just to kind of give me a visualization of what I'm hearing.
Right.
I wish I remember the name.
Right. It will come to you. It will come to you in the middle of this. It will come to you. Now, for the future, is there anything that we should be looking forward to in the rest of 2020, or is there anything that you're currently working on that you would like to maybe promote or anything?
That I'm currently working on that's not released. So I got a new remix that's going to come out, I believe November 30th, but I'm not sure exactly. It has Mel Fresh.
Right. Oh, okay.
Vocals.
Okay.
Remix. So that one's going to come out soon. I've got also our track.
Yes.
I'm super excited about our track.
Yes.
It's coming out on the 30th.
Yes,
That's what I'm stoked about. I've got a lot of projects I'm working on right now, so
yeah,
more music for sure on the way.
Yes, exactly. And it's nice though that you keep coming with the consistency. As I was saying in the introduction, you have been a repeat releaser with StoryTime. For those who are watching, if you're unaware, you can go to our SoundCloud and you scroll down there and you will see that there are different tracks that she has put out. And so this is not the first time, this isn't the second time, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last time. And we are very appreciative of every time that we get a submission from her. So we are very thankful for all the time that you put in and sending in with us. Now, to wrap up the interview, is there anything else that you would like to promote or anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
My new EP, it's called House Your Body. It's out on UFO Records. It's a project I had a lot of fun with. There's 4 tracks, so you can check it out on any streaming platform of your choice, or feel free to download it on iTunes, show some love. Yeah, that's really it for now.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. Once again, everyone, this is Collelo. I'm Matt Campbell. And don't forget the Chapter 2 compilation, which will be featuring our new track, Every Dance, is out October 30th. So we'll wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we hope to see you again.
Yay! Love you all.